Alright, so here's the deal. I was originally working on like an intro video for the channel, which I still plan on doing, but we might as well make this one first. One, to help with the YouTube algorithm, and also because like I had so many issues making that one that I think there's enough material to make like a separate video talking about it. Anyway, hope you enjoy. If so, please like and subscribe. Feel free to also leave a comment, about something you did like, maybe something you didn't like about the video. Either way, it helps out the channel, especially with how YouTube changed the way views count. So it's like, basically, even if you were to watch the video from start to finish, like, if there was no interaction, like, there's a chance that said view might not officially count. Also, I'd like to apologize in advance, for any scuff. I am still new to like this whole like form of video editing and like voiceover, and it's also unscripted, but we'll get more into that later. With that being said, let's get into it. For those unfamiliar, I've been making videos like on and off since at least 2018, though the methods in which I made said videos were pretty basic to say the least. Like usually either on my usually done with my phone camera, though sometimes I would screen record from there. And also one time where like I basically took a Twitch stream, like the VOD, downloaded it onto my computer, and then I just put it up on YouTube, like unedited, no, no bells and whistles, just pretty much as is. Looking back at a lot of them, like some of them still have their charm, sort of like a old home movie kind of feel, but at the same time, a lot of them were really bad. Yeah, a lot of them ended up in a sort of unlisted archives playlist, and like honestly, the only reason why I didn't delete a lot of those is because I didn't have the heart to get rid of what was basically part of like my history and of early early history and content creation, like a piece of history, like even like whether the videos are good or bad, like they still I still think they show like a good sense of progression over time, and hopefully like in a few years I can go back to them and like just sort of like laugh at like younger me, not, or I guess more like laugh with younger me, like anyways, ever since I was young I've always wanted to make like YouTube videos, akin to like the stuff I grew up, watching and loving, whether that be let's play videos, lore discussions, like talking about interesting topics, voiceover parodies, talking about interesting online ongoings, and offering my own thoughts on them, and just in general, like having fun, making content that I enjoy, and hopefully one day other people will be able to find them and enjoy them, in a maybe not exactly the same way, but at least in a similar way that I did. With all of this in mind, I figured why not make a little intro video, like for a couple reasons, whether like one, to challenge myself and like trying to make a more higher quality production video, you know, as a way to introduce people to like who like I am, what to expect on the channel, other ways like they could keep up with me and my content, to support me, you know, and also to act as a sort of time capsule, so that way in the future, like I not or like, we could look back on it, like see, how far, the channel has gone, like quality and production wise, like the kind of content made, and also to act as like a bit of inspiration to keep going and continue to make better content. And so it was. At this point, I already had OBS like to capture footage, and even like one of those video capture cards, so that way I could capture footage from like my Xbox here, but I still haven't figured that out. So for the time being, I figured, probably best to stick to, capturing footage of like one of my fantasy like Subway fantasy map making projects, you know, on Metrodreamin, which is the footage you're seeing here. By the way, if you're wondering why it looks kind of awkward, it was because I was trying to do that while also trying to keep track of the time, since I didn't have a stopwatch and I didn't want the footage to be too long because I didn't know how to like speed it up or and whatnot. So yeah. As for capturing and editing voiceover, you know, I plugged in my gaming headset and microphone, and I decided to download Audacity since it was a program that I already knew about and figured like why not? Like it's a program that, I know a lot of other creators use and it's and if it's able to work for them and it's something I don't have to worry about breaking the bank to use, is like this should be able to do the job. So after the better part of an afternoon, like thinking about what I wanted to say and doing different takes and all of that, I finally got the audio down. Now I just needed like a video editor to put all the pieces together in one. I looked around and tried out various programs like like, like CapCut to Move AI, or I think that's what it was called. Even stuff like Streamlabs and OBS, because I heard it was possible to edit videos on there, but they either like didn't work as I expected, like were discontinued, or required like going through like a. Later in the Discord call, I was introduced to an editing program called DaVinci Resolve, and looking at it and from what it was described, was like, yes, this exactly what I needed to do, and I don't have to worry about like paying an arm and a leg to access it. That said, setting it up was definitely a bit annoying. Like when I went to the website, I initially chose to download the ARM version since that would be more. I was told that would be more laptop friendly since I'm currently working with like a Microsoft Surface Pro 7 and an external hard drive. But no matter how many times I tried to start it up, delete it and then re-download it, it just wouldn't, start boot up. So eventually I just settled with the x86 version, which, while yes is more intense on my laptop, like especially probably turns of battery, and sometimes it will like freeze up for a bit. It's thankfully, like looking at it now, still able to do the job. That being said, I don't think I could say the same thing for Audacity. Like while I was editing like some like the audio file, like the program crashed and it stopped working, so I tried to delete it and then like try to re-download it to see if that would fix it. If anything, it just made the situation worse. you know and through a whole process of like trying to get rid of like different copies, saying like, oh, it's open in another file or something like that, or something from that file is in another one. Like I ended up deleting like the original audio, like for the intro video. It was just a whole mess. I'm I'm just glad that DaVinci is able to do the job. From there, in regards to DaVinci, it was similar to Audacity. It was a lot of trial and error, like figuring out like what things do what, how, where everything is, like how it works. But thankfully, after some time and with some help from Discord, I was able to figure it out. And because of that, well, we now have this video. I hope, at least. For anyone still here, thank you for sticking around for the full ride. I know it's not necessarily maybe not the most interesting video in comparison to other things I could have done, but after everything, I just needed to find some way to talk about it, and hopefully I'm able to look back at this in the future with more knowledge, and experience, and this kind of issue doesn't happen again, or if it does, like I'll be more prepared. So if you like what you saw and and are interested in seeing more, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, the bell icon, share it with your friends. And if you want to keep up to date, with Schmuck content, or chat with me, feel free to follow me on Twitter, Twitch. You could join the Schmuck City Discord server. And additionally, if you want to further support me and even get like a shout out, in the next video, and get a special role in the server, feel free to leave a little tip through Ko-Fi. Helps me out a lot and I really appreciate it. All the links will be found in the description. And yeah, have a good day, night, whatever, and see you again soon. post-editing Schmuck here. If you're wondering why the audio is a bit crunchy at parts, that's because when I originally recorded it, it was in like linear PCM, and it wasn't compatible with the videos, so I had to convert all of them to MP3 files. Took a while, but thankfully the video should be done by this. Took a while, but thankfully, yeah. All socials are in the description. See you later, alligator.